and welcome to Flexline Media Back 9 final round coverage of the 25th The Helicopter Line Queenstown Classic. Coverage is sponsored by Smith's Craft Beer House, with additional sponsorship thanks to Queenstown Disc Golf Club, NZDSS and Small Planet Disc Sports. My name is Chris.
My name is Philip.
Well, Phil, how's the card feeling after 16 holes?
Man, after 16 holes, Hemi and Mikey were neck and neck here in the round. I myself and both Paul were really feeling the pressure to try and play a bit better than we actually did. Coming into hole 17, there was a bit of a wait as they're really cooling us down here in our play, and definitely going to make this back nine play a bit more interesting.
So it's going to be an exciting finish to the round. We see Hemi maintaining his win, obviously, with the 10 down for the round, going into double digits again. Marky in second with the -9 for the round. Paul in third, and you've dropped down to 5, unfortunately.
Yeah, so losing a few strokes there. Obviously not really capitalising on these birdies with middle 7.
It's going to be a really exciting back 9 here. Looking forward to it.
Can't wait.
Starting with hole 17, first par 4 of the course, 106 metres. A lot of trees to contend with, but there is a fairway if you can keep it up the middle.
And definitely not playing like 106 with about 10 metres here of elevation, so more playing for 125 metres here. So just trying to go straight up the gap there, keep it nice and open, but to be aware there is a OB field to the left there called Brad Pitt, 100 metres up there in the hill.
Hemi quite high, probably a lot higher than he wanted to, unfortunately. Hyzering just fading to the left-hand side. Doesn't get a roll back into the fairway, so he'll be pinched off with a slightly awkward approach.
Mikey here leaning towards the forehand. Again, I've seen him throw quite far with these.
And just drifting to the right and squaring up that tree on the edge of the fairway.
Unfortunate tree kick there, about halfway
Boom.
up.
Trying to cut it down. Who needs it?
I was leaning towards the left-hand backhand here with the Thunderbird, but
ooh,
bit of an early release.
Yeah,
and
a bit too much angle, and that's
did not hit a single tree going into there. It's really just skipping the hole completely.
And trying to bypass it. And you've ended up in the middle of all those skinny trees, which would be quite tricky to pitch out from.
Now you do see people lean towards the forehand here more just because there is a tree about 10 metres in front of the tee pad, which makes it a bit more daunting to really throw that right-hand backhand shot.
And Paul's managed to get the furthest of the group, just in front of the pit there, so he'll be in a good spot, and you've just had to pitch out, unfortunately.
Yeah, really no look there to lay up for the birdie. Mike here, probably about 80 metres out.
He's ripped that really nicely.
Lacing it.
Yeah, great shot.
What an approach. Really not trying to lose any strokes here to Hemi.
Yeah.
Again, just throwing the rat here for the approach shot. Just trying to keep it within in the circle. A bit more turn than I would have liked, but that's within my range there to save my par.
Hemi could possibly run this if he really wanted to, but considering his position, I'm sure he's just going to lay this one up right below the basket.
Some good ground play there. It's easily inside the bullseye.
Now Paul won't want to turn it into the pit here, so he'll just have to ensure the disc angle is held nicely, and that's a beautiful upshot.
Parked. I'm sure he'll be happy with the easy birdie.
Yeah, definitely.
You can just see the orange flags there. That's where Brad Pitt is located. I say it does play as an out of bounds, so players are being wary. I say throwing this forehand straight up the gap.
Nice par save for you there.
So just sneaking over the rim there, about 8 metres out, but happy to take my par.
Excellent birdie for Mikey. Playing the hole very easily. Just keeping up the middle. Hemi also getting the birdie. And Paul should do the same. He played that hole very well. Must be feeling good after not the greatest middle 7, unfortunately. And that hole actually played 0.1 of a stroke over par for the entire tournament. So excellent work for our lead card there.
Hole 18, 160 metre par 4. Bit of daunting trees there straight out the gap, about 10 metres in front of you. Again, that play is really just play out to the gap in the front. Go either left up the pathway there or play up to the rock. Again, laying a nice easy forehand, taking the 4.
Yeah, this was actually the most difficult hole over the weekend, playing 1.2 strokes over par, over a stroke over par, which is remarkable.
Hemi here trying to throw a turnover with his leopard, just catching the tree on the right there.
That's the tree that people hit. I mean, there's a couple more, but that's one of them.
Man, there's probably about a 5 meter wide gap there people are trying to play through. They're just trying to get a clean drive. Mikey here playing one of the most unorthodox drives that you have seen here, playing the forehand.
Forehand roller.
Man, definitely not something I would expect someone to play, but
putting it down and just turning into that hedge. So
what a kick.
Excellent kick, managing to stay out of it, because that could have been a terrible lie. But just on the edge there, he'll have a nice up. Probably a forehand, I would say. He'll take up the driveway.
Forehand didn't pay, but easier. Ball, nice hop off the front there. But
yeah, going off the end of the runway. But yeah, catching a tree and just ending up in that rough area.
Now, before this drive, I actually asked Timmy what he was throwing because I was quite unsure, and he said leopard, so I was like, okay, I'll throw leopard left hand as well, and just pured the gap. That's exactly where you wanted to be, really, off the drive to play a nice easy four.
Yeah, and just squeezing through those trees, not getting caught up too much, which was quite fortunate.
Hemi playing wide there to the left, catching some branches a bit high there. It's going to be a bit of a tricky approach, and
getting a really unlucky roll backwards out of that tree. It's just...
You're definitely not happy with that roll there.
Yeah, but still got an open avenue up that middle gap.
So Paul here looks to be surrounded by shrubbery.
Gave it
pushing the forehand out there.
A good run, but unfortunately catching a fairly early branch.
Again, that rock there, ideally we want to be off the drive, so I think Paul's going to try his best to get an approach shot, save par. Hemi, another unfortunate tree kick there. Definitely not as he's wanting to play this hole. So Mikey just got that left avenue there along the pathway. Looking good.
Absolutely great shot. Wow.
Clean
Perfect
through.
line. Perfect line on the driveway.
That'll put him just outside circle's edge there for birdie. Now I'm leaning towards my Mako 3 here. Just nice turnover. Giving it some height.
Yeah, definite height.
I think that branch slowed it about a fair bit. I think if it was for that branch, probably would have been inside the circle there, really, for the approach.
Still in a great spot, though. Not too bad. You can't be unhappy with that.
Paul here, probably having to flex something around this tree with the right hand backhand. It's pretty wide left. It's coming back.
Yeah, managed to find quite a small gap. He'll be up there, probably just outside circle, maybe circle 2. Edge of circle 2, maybe. Hemi with a difficult reach back for his approach. And he's still got a decent distance to bite off. Just catching a tree.
Man, tree after tree here. Definitely playing a bit hard for him. Yeah, say quite a few strokes can very easily be lost due to just how guarded this fairway is. Hemi here, I'm sure he's just trying to lay this up and just take his bogey and leave the hole, really.
Yeah, just pitching up. He's going to walk away with slightly more strokes than he would want, but he's got a bit of a buffer, so he's built that in.
I was actually running this one to try and get the birdie.
Yeah, almost made it.
Having taken bogeys in the past previous holes, I thought it had the look, might as well give it a shot. Paul here from the knees, got a gap. Okay, he's decided to stand up there.
Going for the more traditional stance.
Lining it up.
Taking his time. He'll really want this. Oh, right off.
Just high off the top hat there.
Yeah, wow.
Mikey here lining up a birdie to edge a circle.
Oh, beautiful dunk.
Man, what a putt.
He's got such a stylish putt. Just lifts it up and lets it drop into the chains.
Yeah.
And you making your par.
Nice spin putt, right side. Take my par and move on, really.
Unfortunate double bogey for Hemi there. Really his first mistake of his round.
And
just struggling with those trees.
And that there is a 3-stroke swing right there between Mikey and Hemi.
Yeah.
So Mikey only 5 strokes now behind.
Hole 19, par 3, 50 metres. Heading back into the same forest these players just came through, so they'll be hoping they well, Hemi hits less trees, but slightly wider as we head down towards this basket, so they should be able to find their gaps all right.
I say the go-to line on this hole is really just hitting it wide right and relying on the fade really to skip back to the fairway. The straight gap's a bit daunting here. Mikey throwing his peg on the wide route.
Yeah, takes it wide around. You just don't want to skip too far to the left because you can fall down the bank down to the next tee. But he manages to keep it up on the raised green, putting for birdie there.
I myself trying to follow this line here with the peg as well.
Bit lower, skipping a bit earlier and just catching up on those pine cones, which can slow down. But
good kicks there.
Yep.
Put me into a circle. Now, Hemi being a left-hand player, taking this direct gap here with the turnover, just not getting the fade really he wanted, putting him a bit long.
Going to touch long.
Poor child, he'll be playing this right gap here again. Just really the go-to line for this hole.
Just inside, clipping one of those trees in the middle.
Might have been a bit of a slip there, or just a bad release, but
unfortunate coming off that double bogey. And yeah, another tree. Just not quite giving it what it needs to get to the green.
This is going to be outside circle 1, probably 15 meters here to save par.
Oh, possibly pushing 20.
Let's give it some height.
Doesn't quite drop it in.
Just stalling out there. He's not very happy with that. Man, Hemi missing another birdie putt.
The two players who struggled on the previous hole are also struggling on this hole, so interesting how momentum can run.
I myself just cashing in a birdie there. I'm pretty happy after taking a par on the previous hole. Mikey here for birdie.
Easy as.
Again, that's another one-stroke swing there, putting Mikey only 4 strokes behind Hemi right now, with 6 holes remaining. Unfortunate bogey there for Paul.
On to hole 20, another par 4, 95 meters, left-hand turning fairway. Really just have to hit your line. There's a kind of a bailout area halfway along that you can end up if you want to take a safe route.
95 meters plays this relatively easy par 4. I know there are quite a few eagles shot in this hole. As I said, you really just need to hit your drive straight and have it finished left, and really gives you quite an easy opportunity to take those eagles.
Mikey just a little bit straight, catching the trees on the right hand side of the fairway. It's a tricky place to be because there's not really any good route through to the basket once you're deep in that stuff.
From the tee pad, it doesn't look like it, but there is actually quite a tight fairway where Mikey's ended up. He might have found it having hit the drive wide.
You've managed to hit the main fairway, but with the disc on a little bit of hyzer, you've skipped up the slope, which is a pretty good safe spot to be.
It gives me an approach there for the easy birdie, of course, but say finishing straighter, I would definitely have had an even better look really for eagle.
Not a bad drive from Hemi. He's made it about halfway up, and he'll have a fairly open look for his upshot. Here we have Paul just zoning in on the main tree that people hit when they're trying to take that tight line.
Yeah, so a bit early of a release there.
Here we can see Mikey's line. He's managed to go for a flick roller, and he's ended up
up the side of the fairway. He's at least 20 meters to the left side of the fairway.
I don't quite know how he's managed to do that. There must have been a gust of wind or something, because that was remarkable.
That was very unexpected. Paul here looks like he's going to line up a turnover.
Very tight line. And yeah, just catching a tree. There wasn't really much of a look for him there. That was a really tricky approach.
Bit rough there.
Yeah. And here's Hemi. This should be a fairly easy, just left-hand hyzer. Back into the fairway and drop with the basket. Oh, touch short.
Bit short, but still inside his range there to get the birdie. Now I myself here, I'm actually going to try and give this a run for eagle.
Bit of a turnover putt approach.
Just a bit wide right there, but oh no, I was pretty happy with that bid. Mikey, it looks like he's lining up a putt. Bit low. I'll put him 5 meters out from the basket. All here, trying to jump out, lay up this one. Bit wide right there of the tree.
You can almost get the sense that our lead card here is starting to get a little bit tired. I think probably the big morning probably took it out of them. Pretty tough weather.
Him here trying to pump himself back up here to try and get some more birdies.
Pull with par.
Mikey takes his par. I'll just tap out my birdie here. Pretty happy with that, seeing Mikey and Hemi.
Hole 21, par 3, 61 metres. Finally out of the forest, so everyone's rejoicing, but it's still not a super easy hole with this low ceiling. Really got to pick your line. It's called Ace Run, but I'm not sure if we saw any aces. I don't think we did.
No, not during the weekend there.
It's definitely harder than it looks.
Hill's a bit high, making that drive really a bit tight.
You've hit some early tree and just kind of spiked down to that hillside. It's kind of difficult to get the perfect height to get over the hill, but below the branches.
Hemi here, opting for the turnover. Just a bit early.
Yeah.
So that probably puts him about 30 metres out there for birdie. Again, definitely playing a lot easier for the right-hand player, just playing it up the gap with something fairly stable and having it finish left. Mikey, I think, throwing his pig here against a really good skip.
And yeah, just a touch long of the basket, but that's well within the circle. He'll be putting for another birdie.
Paul Child here, throwing his pig. Again, trying to replicate the same shot Mikey's just done.
Yeah, just a touch straight. Didn't quite get on it.
And Iron Leaf just slapping it down.
Yeah.
Really not making this hole easy for him.
It's not a bad up. Still got a little bit to chew off for his putt. It's just a touch closer than you, but this is it's a tricky putt with the
death putt.
slope. Yeah. Oh, just tickling the chains.
I did go for that one. I say missing left side was unfortunate miscalculation there. So I'm probably about 8 metres up now, trying to save par.
And just not quite enough on the uphill putt.
Paul Child here, 7 metres out for par.
And also catching chains, but yeah, bouncing out. Unlucky. And here's Hemi for his par save. Not a problem. Cleans it up. Just making sure that it sits. Worried that it might have bounced out with some bizarre supernatural reason.
Mikey here, 5 metres out, 30.
Yeah, wonderful.
Cashing that one in quite nicely.
And he's definitely making a bit of a move on Hemi here. He'll be looking to close that distance heading into the Fantastic Four, which we will have in this tournament. Paul, a little bit frustrated, making sure that bogey sticks. Hole 22, par 3, 63 metres. This one is a right-hand turning fairway with the Mando on the right. And there is a drop zone if you miss the Mando, but just a simple forehand for the right-handers and hyzer for the left-handers.
Yeah, so Mikey Hugh again leaning on the peg. Straight towards the basket. About 7 metres out there, but all in all, I'm sure he'd be pretty happy with that.
Played. Very easy to drift into those hedges on the left, so...
Man, feeling the wind pick up
yeah,
again
the
here.
wind. We've just hit another bit of a wind burst. And potentially factored into Hemi's slight misrelease. Or
Now, he just managed to sneak around that Mando tree there, though the ball put him outside the circle.
You're opting for a left hand.
Indeed, I'm leaning towards the left hand with the peg again, trying to replicate Mikey's forehand shot.
Wow.
Just
Perfect.
Just missing the tree there, but they'll put me in a good position to take birdie. Paul here, opting for the forehand of the peg as well. You really got to hit it centre fairway there. Too far left and that edge is going to catch you.
Pretty straight, just catching up on the hedge, unlucky. Didn't quite get the heiser skip that he probably would have wanted, but well within distance to make his birdie. And Hemi, sensing the wind,
Just lays it
it's a
up.
sensible thing, lays it up.
Poor child from the knee here for birdie.
Looked away immediately. Knew it wasn't quite online. Unfortunate, but maybe a tap in par.
Mikey here, about 7 metres out.
Didn't quite notice the low ceiling, and yeah, just catching a healthy amount of branches.
There you go.
But you making your birdie,
Another birdie.
wonderful.
I'll take the tee box for the next hole. Thank you very much.
And
Everyone just dropping in their butts
everyone
there.
dropping in butts. Not quite the result that they wanted, but there's always a new hole, and it is hole 23, par 3, 59 metres. The only Warty Curry hole of the tournament with a low ceiling, so you really have to hit your gap. But in terms of shape of the hole, fairly straightforward.
Fairly straightforward. So most people were playing a right-hand backhand, slight turnover. Again, lefties playing a fairly straight shot. The statue there on the right is out of bounds. There's a hedge surrounding it. Still be careful of that.
Oh,
Sneaking over the branch there.
wow.
Bit of an ace right there.
That would have been incredible if you split the needle and then got an ace. That would have been a special moment.
Any higher and I could have very easily been in the water there.
Yeah. Markey with the forehand, such a reliable throw for him, and he's just skipped up beautifully to
Park.
within, a couple of metres. Amy's going to have to contend with his bush on the left to reach the basket, but shapes it nicely, pushes it nice and straight, and just,
Big skip there.
yeah, skips up a little bit. He'll be just inside circle.
Paul throwing a turnover. Good putter.
And this is lovely.
Oh, look at that. Nice pushing
Just
skip there.
using the ground, sliding up beautifully.
Nice shot.
And a bit of a highlight, Adam Rhymes getting the ace on this hole in round 4. Congratulations, Adam.
8 metres uphill here. Go for birdie.
Beautiful catch. Wow.
Very happy with that. Hitting strong side,
Yep.
medium height.
Yep, that's what you want. Hemi, inside circle. You'll want to convert this to ensure he stays well in front. And just,
That's
drops it.
another stroke. Dropped there by Hemi. This
Yeah.
could be Mikey for a 3-stroke lead.
Nice birdie for Paul. That would feel good after not the best holes beforehand. And we can see a bit of rain starting to fall as Mikey gets his birdie. So definitely a few waves of weather coming through. I would probably have to say that this lead card is through the worst of it, so I'm sure you're all just looking to get through it and finish the round.
And after 23 holes, we're definitely looking forward to finishing on these last 2.
So 70 metres up towards the lake. Just got to watch out for going long into the little pond, but relatively straightforward.
Yeah, again, just another backhand shot straight up the middle. I'm giving it some height, so you've got to be careful of throwing it a bit wide there, but I myself, throwing the rat, putting it right there.
And that should be another fairly simple birdie putt.
Mikey here, I think he's going to play the peg out wide.
Quite direct, actually.
Hopefully get some good skip here.
Yeah. Oh, hitting a puddle, and
Wow.
that slowed it down a bunch.
Very quickly stopped his momentum
Yeah.
there.
You got to watch out, because if your highs are too much, you can be ending up in a bush. So fortunate to have a fairly clear putt.
Paul here, quite direct.
Oh, yeah.
Avoids the puddle there.
Yeah, skips over the puddle and just comes up very nicely right next to you.
I'll give him a nice sweet putt there for birdie. Now Hemi here, leaning towards the turnover.
A little bit low, but should be able to. Doesn't
Doesn't get the ground play that he wants there. Again,
If he landed about 2 metres further, I reckon he would have got a bit of skip off that hard pen.
Oh, for
But
sure.
Yeah, just didn't quite make it to that distance. Caught up in the grass.
it's like the pressure's, I say, daunting on Hemi here. Only being 3 strokes now ahead of Mikey.
And you can see the wind and the rain. It's really picking up.
So it's going to be another par there for Hemi. Mikey here for birdie, 6 meters out.
Unlucky. Bit of weather probably influencing his putt.
So a bit of a tailwind putt from where we were.
Taking his time. And
Nice
cashing
birdie.
the birdie. Strong finish for Paul.
So these are definitely the last couple holes you want to be taking birdies on.
Yeah.
Relatively straightforward.
Yep. And that's exactly what you do, maintaining your little birdie streak.
Yeah. Hemi taking a par.
And Marky the same. So, goodness, it's neck and neck for our top competitors. Just Marky trying to push up.
Yeah, I mean, I say coming to this last hole 25, 60 meters. OB right side of the road there. So you've got to be careful with throwing your shots here. So there is the wide gap on the left there for turnover, or very direct straight gap there. Also being wary of those branches behind the basket.
And the low ceiling on the tree right in the middle. It's
Exactly.
tricky to get through.
I'm going to throw a rat here. Again, trying to keep it straight.
Ooh!
Just
I
left of
swore
the
that was
tree
going to
there.
hit the tree. Wow.
That was close.
Just nestled up just at the front of that target tree.
Walker's going to opt for the forehand left side. Just got to be careful not to skip too far right.
Oh, keeps it low.
Wow.
Gets a bit of an anti-skip off the bark chips. And he's out by you again.
Yeah, that was
Just
good.
about 2 meters further out.
I think I'll put him in total 8 meters away from the basket there for birdie.
This is a great looking shot from Marky. Right on line, but just, ooh, skips up a little bit too long.
Not the best kick off the tree
No.
there. It's going to have a bit of a tricky lie there for birdie.
Yeah, straight through the
Gonna-
branches.
gonna be
Quite-
contending.
Yeah, tricky.
Now Hemi here being left-hand played, expect him to go along the left gap there. Having a comeback, but look, a bit of a late release there. I think putting him behind the branches, not really ideal here, having been only 3 strokes in front of Mikey.
Paul's going to want this. Oh,
Man.
whoa.
Another chain out,
Oh.
left side.
And it's not the replay that you want to see, but really unlucky reaction off the chains there.
I think that branch might have had an effect on that,
Yeah.
say, kicking it halfway through.
So unlucky. That's rough. Unfortunate finish to his round, but he'll probably finish with his par.
And me, myself, and I trying to sink this last birdie coming into hole 25, but just heading it a bit low.
Hemi, really not a lot going for him here.
Tight gap.
Yeah, I think that was very much a layup.
So Mikey, a bit of gap here, but still a bit low.
He can definitely make a move here. He's got a look,
Pretty tight up against this tree.
puts it up, and just a bit too high.
Man, 4 putts for birdie and all missing there.
Unlucky.
Not the finish you want to see on a 25-hole course, but
Hemi, not super enthused by the quality of the disc golf, but I don't know. I quite enjoyed it. They made it through.
yeah, definitely could have been worse to that win, so good to see some birdies on the card there.
And there it is, the final round of the Queenstown Classic, done and dusted. Boy, wasn't it an eventful one.
What a round that was. Hemi and Mikey neck and neck through that round. So Hemi losing 4 strokes here to Mikey, only 3 strokes ahead now. Takashi maintaining his third place position there, shooting neg 10 for the round. Stephen Tate also jumping ahead of me, tied 4th. Tom McKay and Pete and Paul tied 6th.
Yeah, wow, a lot of movement on the scoreboard heading in through that back 9. So it's going to be very exciting as we head into the Fantastic Four to finish up this tournament. It's always a thrilling way for everyone to enjoy the fantastic disc golf that's on display.
I say Hemi's got 3 strokes here. Let's see if he can maintain his lead.
That's it. We'll see you there.
See ya.